Hello everyone, I'm the Sports Wiz 101, and today I'll be giving you my predictions for Week 17 of the NFL season. So we'll predict all these games set to take place here in Week 17. Coming off of an 11-5 record last week was a slight improvement from what we've been doing. We'll see if we can get even better. So we start, as always, with the AFC games. It's the last game of the Christmas triple header, and we'll see my Kansas City Chiefs be at home to take on the Denver Broncos. Denver with an opportunity to lock up the AFC West this week. They need to win this game and have the Chargers lose to the Texans. I guess while I'm talking about the Chiefs, I'll go ahead and mention the new stadium they're getting here in a few years. I'm looking forward to it as a native Kansan. I love that deal, but I don't love what's going to happen on Thursday. Chris Oladokun going to be the starting quarterback for the Chiefs. He's been the practice squad guy for them for a while now. And while I'd love to see him go out there and spoil things for the Broncos on Christmas, if I'm being realistic, if the Chiefs couldn't put up much of a fight against the Titans, then I struggle to see how they would give up much of a fight against the Broncos. See, I'll take Denver to get the win over the Chiefs. And then we get to the first part of the Saturday doubleheader. It's the Texans and the Chargers. This one should be a good one. I'm going to pick Houston to get the win. If this scenario does happen, Houston officially locks up their playoff spot. And couple that with my Chiefs prediction, it would mean Denver wins the West. Ultimately, I think that the Houston pass rush will make life miserable for the Chargers. I think their tackles being injured, it haven't always been forced to get ruined by that, but I think it's really going to make the difference against the Texans this Saturday, and that's why I'm taking the Texans. Moving on, Jaguars-Colts. Indy, as of right now, is on the brink of elimination. If Houston does win, then that would be enough to eliminate the Colts. Jacksonville, still in the race for home field, coming off a huge win over the Broncos in Denver, no less. I feel like Jacksonville could be due for a letdown game. And going to Indy, their offense looked pretty good from what I saw on Monday night. I'm going to take the Colts in my upset of the week to take down the Jaguars. Indy's going to hope Houston doesn't beat the Chargers, otherwise they're out. And they're going to put forth enough of an effort to beat Jacksonville, I do believe. We're going to follow it up with what I'm calling my lock of the week. I'll take the Patriots. I think they shut down the Jets' rushing attack, which is pretty much the only thing they can do on offense to threaten the Patriots. And from there, it'll be easy sailing for a New England team that has a real chance to lock up the East this week. Elsewhere, Pittsburgh, they're trying to lock up the North as they go to Cleveland. They're not going to have DK Metcalf after his fan interaction this past Sunday. And I do think even without DK, they get the win and they ensure they win the AFC North. They'll still have a chance to jump up to the third seed, jumping the AFC South winner. They're more than likely getting the 4th seed, though. And we'll see how Pittsburgh does come playoff time. Then we got a battle between two teams that would love to have the first overall pick. In fact, the winner of this game is going to be in the driver's seat for that first overall pick, either the Giants or the Raiders. And please pay no attention to the label there. This is a Sunday afternoon game in Vegas, and I think the Raiders get the win. And a large part of that is just me being impressed by the fact that they were able to keep their game against the Texans last week at least reasonably close. In fact, they had the lead at decent points of that game. Yeah, I think the Raiders, I think they're playing better ball than the Giants right now. And I think they get the win. Then we go to a game that actually will take place Saturday. Second part of the Saturday doubleheader, Ravens and Packers. Both teams with some injuries to their quarterbacks. Lamar Jackson injuring his back last Sunday night against the Patriots. He's day-to-day, last I heard. And then you have Green Bay, who had two quarterbacks get hurt in their loss Saturday against the Bears. Green Bay will go in this game knowing they need to win to stay in the race for the NFC North. And I think their defense is good enough to slow down the Ravens enough that I think Green Bay gets the win. Cardinals-Bengals, I'll take Cincinnati. I think they got the superior offense at this point, and that's going to lead Cincinnati getting the win. And then we have the Saints and the Titans. Tennessee's actually been playing pretty decent over the past couple of weeks, but I think the Saints have been better. I think the Saints are on a roll. I think the Saints go marching into Nashville and get the win. Buccaneers and Dolphins. Tampa will need to win this game in order to stay alive in the NFC South. They win this game, it'll set up next week as a division championship game in Tampa against the Panthers. And I think that does wind up happening. I think Tampa Bay, they just have the better offense, especially after Miami made a switch at the quarterback position. I just think Tampa Bay right now, better offense, and that better offense is going to lead them to a win down in Miami. And then, huge game over in Buffalo, the Eagles and the Bills. Eagles, of course, already locked up their division. Repeat NFC East champions for the first time in about 20 years. Taking on a Bills team that is guaranteed a playoff spot, but would still love to win their division. They're going to need to win this game in order to still have a chance at their division, I would say. And I think ultimately Josh Allen powers the Bills to the end to win this game. So I'll take Buffalo behind a big performance from Josh Allen. Then we get to NFC action. First, the first two games of the Christmas Day tripleheader. Cowboys-Commanders. I feel like this one is fairly simple. Dallas wins. They're the healthier team. And in the almost 2 years that Dan Quinn has been the coach of the Commanders, Dallas has just been a bad matchup for Washington. And I don't think that changes here. I'll take the Cowboys to win. Then the second game, Lions and Vikings. Lions will need to win this game in order to keep their playoff hopes alive against, it's been confirmed it's going to be Max Brosmer as the Vikings quarterback. Ultimately, I think Detroit should not have much of a problem with Brosmer and company. Give me Detroit. Seahawks and Panthers. Seattle is actually going to go into this game with a chance to win the West. Likewise, Carolina goes in with a chance to win the South. Ultimately, I do like Seattle a bit more. I think their defense is able to shut down Carolina. And I think JSN is due to have a good game. So give me the Seahawks. Then we get to Sunday Night Football. The Bears and the 49ers going at it. If I'm correct about Green Bay winning earlier in the week, then Chicago will have a chance to lock up the North right here. All I gotta do is win in Santa Clara. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think the 49er offense is just too hot. The Bears defense will not be able to contain it. I think the Niners get the win at home. And then it's Monday Night Football, pitting the Rams against the Falcons in Atlanta. I'm going to take the Rams. I don't think they'll have much of a problem with Atlanta. I think their offense will be able to move fairly well. And I think they'll get a big win on Monday night. But there's my picks for Week 17 of the NFL season. If you like this, please like and subscribe for more to come in the following weeks. I am the Sports Wiz 101, and I will see you all later.